Writing equations of parallel and perpendicular lines. Draw the line that is parallel to the line and passes through the point. So in order to draw a line that is parallel to the line and passes through this point, I need two pieces of information. I need the slope of this first line and the point on the second line. So the slope of this first line is -3. So once I get the slope, since they're parallel, I'm going to use the same slope. I'm going to start on the point on the second line and just apply a slope of -3. Okay? And draw my line. So that line is parallel to that line and passes through that point. So that's how we would do it on a graph. But let's be more precise and do it with an equation. So instead of calling it that line and that point, we're going to call the line y equals -3x plus 2, because that's the equation of a line, and we're going to call the point -3, -4. So now we can write the equation of the line that is parallel to y equals -3x plus 2 and passes through -3, -4. And in order to do this, I need the same two pieces of information. I need the slope of the first line and the point on the second line. So the slope on the first line is -3. And since it's parallel, I'm going to use the same slope. And the point on the second line is -3, -4. So now I have a point and a slope, and I can write the equation of this line here. So y plus 4 equals -3 times x plus 3. And let's just go to slope-intercept with this. So y equals -3x minus 13. Maybe there, 13. So now, instead of saying this line is parallel to that line and goes through that point, I can say y equals -3x minus 13 is parallel to the line y equals -3x plus 2 and passes through the point -3, -4. So I can take the same idea and write an equation of a perpendicular line. So let's start with the graph. Draw the line that is perpendicular to the line and passes through the point. So in order to draw the perpendicular line, I need two pieces of information. I need the slope of the first line and the point on the second line I'm drawing the line through. Now, the slope of the first line here is -3. But since I'm drawing a line that's perpendicular, the second line is going to have -3 as its slope. The slope of the second line is going to be the opposite reciprocal, which is 1/3. I'm going to start on that point I want it to go through on the second line and go up 1 and over 3, up 1 and over 3. And I'm going to draw my line. So here's a line that's perpendicular to that line that goes through that point. So I can be more precise and use the equation in the name of the point. So I'm going to call this line y equals -3x plus 2, and this point -3 minus -3, -4. So now I can write the equation of a line that is perpendicular to y equals -3x plus 2 and passes through -3, -4. And in order to do that, I need two pieces of information. I need the equation of the first line, which is, I need the slope of the first line, which is -3. And since it's perpendicular, I'm going to take the opposite reciprocal. I also need the point on the second line it's going to pass through, which is -3, -4. So now I can write my equation. So the equation of this line is y equals 1/3 x minus 3, and it's perpendicular to y equals 3x plus 2, and it goes through the point -3, -4. And that's how you write Equations of lines that are perpendicular and parallel.